Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. Welcome to 2024. It's my first live broadcast of 2024, so welcome if you're just joining me live here on Facebook. I am on Facebook live every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you ever want to join the live party, go ahead and log in there on my Astrology Updates by Gretchen Heidel page. Or if you're watching the replay on YouTube, you are equally as welcome. So thank you so much for joining. So if you are just joining me, go ahead and post below your astrological sign, your sun, your moon, your rising sign if you know it, and where you're tuning in from, what area of the world are you watching. Welcome. So it is January 8th, 2024, and it is our first week back, my first week back live. And there's a bunch of things to go over, including the new moon. We have our very first new moon of 2024. So there's a lot of astrological energy this week. There's a lot of busyness. We have Mercury doing things, we have the first new moon, and we have a lot of planetary transits going on. So this is a bit much busier week than it was last week. Hey Wendy, yay! My very first commenter, lovely. I love that. People are liking the video. That's awesome. Like and share, get this algorithm rolling. But thank you, Wendy. You're my first commenter on the first live broadcast of 2024. So welcome. So we have a lot of astrological energy, and I am going to just dive into the deep end. Wendy said, just you and me, babe. No, we got some more people now, finally. Yay. Eve. Okay, good evening, Eve from Canada. Love that. You can hear me. Chavez, that's a beautiful, Chavez, sorry, that's a beautiful name. Hello, welcome. So we have a couple people here joining the live party here. You know, last week we had a little bit of a more quieter week last week. We did have Mercury retrograde is over, in case you missed it. That happened last Monday on January 1st. Mercury turned direct. And then we had the last quarter lunar cycle, also last week on Wednesday. And then Mars moved into Capricorn. So if you are a Capricorn out there, joining the broadcast, listen up, because that's going to affect all of us, really, not just you, Capricorn, but you'll be in the heart of it, especially if you have Mars in Capricorn yourself. Then you'll be having your Mars return. So now we are moving on. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of yesterday and even today. Hey, Amir, welcome. Taurus from Vermont. Love that. I want to start I'm going to backtrack just for one quick second to yesterday on Sunday, and that is January 7th, just in case if anybody was feeling any of these vibes. Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, formed a square with Venus yesterday, and that was at 10:28 a.m. Eastern time. That was yesterday on Sunday. But it's still active. These planetary things are not just like, quick. It takes a little while. So we might have been feeling that all last weekend and even into today, where Venus and Black Moon Lilith are forming a square with each other. Remember, Lilith is in Lilith is in Virgo right now. Venus is in Sagittarius. So we have that, little square going on, and that's a little bit of trouble in the love department. So in case you were feeling any kind of a little bit of a jealousy or a little bit of a, some kind of energy going on around your love life, this is why, this Venus Lilith thing. And it was active, like I said, all weekend into today. The peak of it was yesterday, but, it's got to kind of do its thing and chill out a little bit. But in case you were feeling any kind of intensity, because Lilith does act very similar in some ways to Pluto. So there's a little bit of intensity with Lilith. She's wild, she's untamed, she doesn't want to be told what to do or how to do it, and da-da-da-da-da. And so that's Lilith. And so if you were feeling any kind of jealousy or betrayal or dark thoughts, she can be a little bit like that. So that's how, and then to kind of add a little bit of fuel to that fire, today on Monday, January 8th, we had Mercury formed a square with Neptune. So there's also confusion in the air. So maybe you were jealous, you thought somebody texted somebody and they weren't really texting a person that was a love interest and it was a coworker, because there could be a misunderstanding. Even if you're not necessarily focused on love, this also could be that we feel a sort of a mental confusion, a foggy, cloudy, fuzzy feeling. The peak of it is actually happening at 8:24 p.m. like right now, okay? Like whenever it's 8:24 p.m. during this broadcast, the peak of it is this broadcast. I was actually feeling a little foggy, fuzzy today, and I kind of woke up that way. So Mercury is still in Capricorn, and then forming a square with, I apologize. Mercury's still in Sagittarius, forming a square with Neptune. And so there is basically kind of like this foggy, cloudy thing with Sagittarius. Neptune's in Pisces. So those two are not really totally getting along right now. We don't have total mental clarity. I don't love it when Mercury and Neptune kind of meet up, because if you think about Neptune, it's illusions, delusions, putting rose-colored glasses on, it's like we want to see things, kind of the way we want to see them, and maybe not totally reality. This is not a great time to sign contracts or do anything like that. And yes, even though the peak of it is like tonight, as I'm talking, it'll kind of take a day or two to sort of burn off. So when we talk about this weird love thing, and then we have this Mercury thing with Neptune, it can be kind of like a misunderstanding that sort of builds up the, the sort of energy towards that. Wendy said, I thought I was having an affair with myself. And sure enough, you were. That's so funny. Melinda, Happy New Year, Capricorn, and happy belated birthday to Melinda. If anybody out there in Facebook land wants to celebrate, send Melinda happy birthday messages. It was actually belated, but I wasn't live when it was her birthday. Hey, Robin, Gemini in Vermont. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you're just joining, go ahead and comment your astrological sign below. Make sure you like this broadcast because it gets it rolling in the algorithm. So we kind of walked into a cloudy week, a cloudy Monday, I guess I would say. It's not going to last all week. It'll start to sort of dissipate, as we get into tomorrow and Wednesday and all that. But it is a little bit of a cloudy sort of start to the week, which is kind of weird. Hey, Kelly, Gemini from Vermont, from New York. Welcome. Okay, so we get into tomorrow, and that's where some things start getting like a little interesting, we'll say. And this is on January 9th, 2024, and that's Tuesday. So there's going to be, the sun is going to form a trine with Uranus, and then Mars is going to form a sextile with Saturn. There's going to be some interesting interplays with Mars this month. Mars, now that it's in Capricorn, is going to start to aspect Uranus. It's going to aspect Saturn. It's going to aspect Jupiter. These are not bad aspects. I'll just say that. In fact, a sextile and two trines, they're positive. Okay, for those astrology junkies out there that like me to, like to know the literal. I like to talk to you guys based on all levels of astrology knowledge. So if you have zero astrology, you can still listen to this. And if you have some astrology under your belt, or you're learning astrology, then you can also listen to this and hang as well. So sextiles and trines are positive. Okay, so we're having Mars is gonna, I'll give you the dates because I know some of you like to write it down. Mars is gonna form a sextile with Saturn tomorrow on January 9th. Then it's going to form a trine to Jupiter on this Friday, which I'll get to in a moment. And that's going to be on the 12th of January. And then all the way at the 29th of January, Mars is going to form a trine with Uranus. Now, that's all this big interplay. These are all kind of interacting with each other. There's a lot of interaction with Mars, Uranus, all these different planets. Kelly said you have the sun trine Uranus in your natal chart. Yeah, I mean, that can be a very positive thing. So I'm going to talk about this first. So tomorrow, there's actually some really good energy. First, the sun's forming a trine with Uranus, and then we have Mars forming a sextile with Saturn. The peak or the height of it, the sun in Capricorn trine Uranus in Taurus, because they're earth signs, so Taurus and Capricorns, listen up. 7:07 p.m. is the peak, so tomorrow night. And then also Mars forming the sextile with Saturn, Mars now in Capricorn, and then Saturn in Pisces. The peak of that is 9:40 p.m. You don't have to be one of these signs for this to affect you. So the cool thing is Mars in Capricorn is with the sextile with Saturn is really good for goal setting, planning, having something come to fruition. Yes, it could be something that you have to like fight for or figure out or whatever, because these Mars and Saturn are a little bit wonky together. Even though it's a positive interaction, Mars wants to go, 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 and Saturn is the brakes, and Saturn is like, let's stop and make a plan. So these two, you will have to have some patience dealing with those two. However, in the backdrop, the sun is also forming a trine with Uranus. Now, that's something that's totally quirky, totally different, totally outside the box, and actually favors risk taking. So Capricorn and Saturn are kind of old fashioned. Uranus is kind of like wants to change, wants to have something cutting edge, different, all kinds of things. So this is like where we have to think outside the box. We have to think of a new way to solve an old traditional problem. It's almost like what they say. I don't know if any of you ever watched Shark Tank, where they say, building a better mousetrap. Like, yeah, okay, and I'm a vegan, so I'm not into mousetraps, but building a better mousetrap or something. In other words, you're improving upon something that's already tried and true, already solid, already has some, history behind it. And that's where we can use Uranus's ingeniousness and sort of innovation to sort of figure out a new way to do an old thing. So if you have any kind of a work project or anything in school or whatever you're doing, and if you have to do some problem solving, this is a great time to do it, especially tomorrow. It is about taking a little bit of a risk, or inciting change, or kind of going forward with something that pertaining to some sort of innovation. So basically that's all of that. And with Mars, again, positively aspecting Saturn, we could have a rise in physicality. We could be wanting to work out, we could wanting to exercise, getting back to our health regime. I know a lot of us set those New Year's intentions or the New Year's resolution, and that is something that I think would be really fun to do. So that's a pretty good day tomorrow. I mean, like, there's a lot of interplay between them, but this could be something very positive. Wendy said, oh my gosh, you have 150 bags to make by May. Whoo, so you really need goals right now. That's a lot of bags. Oh, good. You bet you came up with a new design yesterday. See, so if there's something that you need to work on like that, anything, and look, this isn't really as much pertaining to relationships, but it could be working with a team or coming up with a new business plan or some kind of a thing in our lives. We need to use outside the box thinking to, problem solve and to kind of, do something that's more innovative, because Uranus doesn't want to do anything that's like the same. Uranus likes different, likes change, likes innovation and all that. And I find Uranus's energy to be quite inspiring sometimes. Actually, a lot of astrologers don't talk about that. They talk about how Uranus is a little bit of a mischief maker. Well, it is the wild card, so there could be some mischief making, but really I feel like it could be a little bit more innovative. Yes. So, remember when I talk about Uranus too, sometimes this can give us a rise in anxiety, and sometimes this can give us a feeling of, especially if you tend to lean that way already, if you're like a little bit fear-based and you're somebody that kind of has a hard time with anxiety or with change, and you're nervous, then that could exacerbate that. That could bring that even more up for you. But, I would say switch that thinking, that mindset thinking from from being scared to maybe being excited. Maybe this is something that could be fun. This could be different. It could be an adventure, you know? So kind of embracing that mindset is a good way to sort of think about a Uranus transit, you know? Hey Rita, Virgo in Colorado, welcome, welcome. And by the way, if you haven't commented below yet, comment, like, and share. That helps the algorithm out. Now, as we get into Wednesday, and we're leading up to this new moon, as we get into Wednesday, and that is January 10th, 2024, there is going to be a little bit of a glitch in all of this, okay? The sun, even though it was positively aspected the day before with Uranus on Tuesday, on Wednesday, it's going to form a square with the nodes of the moon, the north node and the south node. The sun right now, as you know, is in Capricorn. It's Capricorn season. And all of the chiefs, okay, are going to be kind of squaring. The sun is going to square the north node in Aries. Aries is a boss. Capricorn's a boss. And the south node of the moon in Libra, which is also a boss. Okay, the only boss that's missing in all of this is Cancer, and that is what's called the cardinal signs in astrology. They'll all be kind of squaring each other. So the north node and the south node is kind of like, where are we heading? And where did we come from? You know, the north node of the moon is our destiny. It's like what we're meant to do in this lifetime, and the south node is what we already did in a past life and where we're coming from. Well, when the sun challenges those two, and that's basically what's happening. And the peak of it, just to let you know, is going to be at 9:34 p.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that, if you're on the West Coast, 6:34 p.m. Pacific time on January 10th, we will feel this sort of challenge. Okay. And so, oh, yay, Jackie. Jackie did the first stars of 2024. Thank you, Jackie. 100 stars. I appreciate that. Stars on Facebook are a way of giving like a tip or a bonus or something for the video. So I appreciate that. Jackie in Pennsylvania. Welcome, welcome. We're ringing the bell to ring in the new year, right? So when we have this sun challenging these two, where we're going, where we came from, there might be some kind of a reevaluation going on. And Uranus is kind of like pressuring the situation, like, let's make a change, let's go forward, let's have forward progress. But the nodes of the moon are being challenged as well, saying, is this really where we want to go? Is this really what our destiny is? Is this really what we want for our future? Are we carrying too much of our past with us? Are we holding on to the past pains, hurts, resentments? Like, what's your luggage? Okay. What baggage are you bringing with you? And so we got to get rid of that baggage in order to proceed forward. And so this might be a bit of just a minute, like a little reevaluation, okay? And that's just something that we might need to sort of think about before we move forward. And the sun is us in a general sort of way, okay? The sun is our ego. It's how we, kind of function. It's like our overall sort of deal. And so the sun, is challenging these. So there might be a little bit of an ego there, but we have to think about that before we can move forward. It's not saying we can't move forward. And it's not saying we can't meet our goals. It's just saying we need to sort of think about, I've been talking even a lot recently. I was talking to a few, made some client calls today and talking to some folks. And a lot of people are going, is this really what I want? We got off to a bit of a wonky start of the new year. I said this, I predicted this, and I even said today, even though I predicted it, I even have been feeling a little bit, the start of the new year has been a little kind of wonky because we started on a Mercury retrograde. And I still feel like Mercury is still kind of figuring itself out. Mercury has not been smooth sailing just, lately. And so that's something that, is still kind of, it's still working out all the kinks, in other words. So we have to kind of be a little bit patient here. And I think that this evaluating about what we want for our future is going to be important. Hey, Debbie, Aries from Florida, welcome. Oh, nice. Yes, beautiful, Wendy, writing a book about past life. Yeah, exactly. That's a wonderful thing. And especially as we get into, okay, here's the big day, drum roll, please, is the new moon. So we're going to be spending that last like 24 hours or so, 12 hours before the following new moon. And I think it is a little bit, we're wrapping up that full moon cycle, right? We're wrapping it up. It's an ending. We're completing. We're really ending that full moon cycle that was initiated. And so now we're coming into the new moon cycle. And I love that date, 111, 111, okay, 2024. And so that is going to be the new moon coming in Capricorn, 20 degrees Capricorn to be specific. The sun will be 20 degrees Capricorn and the moon will be 20 degrees Capricorn on that day. And so that's a very beautiful, if you have anything in your chart that's around 20 degrees, anything, and especially 20 degrees of Capricorn, you will feel this. This is going to be your new moon. Other than Melinda, I'm not sure if there's any other Capricorns on, or if you have Capricorn moon, rising sign, Venus, Mars, any of these things, you will be feeling this Capricorn new moon. And so new moons, as you know, are about new beginnings. So the day before the new moon, like I said, the sun being challenging both the north node and the south node of the moon, we're going to be evaluating what do I really want, which prepares us for the new moon. Because what do you want? Let's manifest. Let's get some good stuff rolling here. So having this new moon, 20 degrees Capricorn, that peak of it, the height of it on 111 is going to be 6:57 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday morning if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, it's going to be 3:57 a.m. So it'll be really overnight between Wednesday and Thursday. And so we'll be thinking about, what our goals are. I definitely feel that this is the new moon of goals. If you think about Capricorn, that's kind of Capricorn's jam, right? Is goals, work, being the CEO of the zodiac, really being able to sort of, check off boxes and make things work. I mean, that's very Capricorn-esque. And so Capricorn is all about setting up systems and structures, because if you think about it, this new moon is being ruled by Saturn. And so, where's Saturn? What's Saturn doing? So this is a Saturn new moon. So if you think about that, let's move into the new year with some new goals. And I really feel, especially since we started the very beginning of the year with Mercury, it's been retrograde, and then we've been in between the last full moon to the new moon. So we've really been in the full long, the 2-week full moon cycle. That's where we started the new year, really like kind of ending things. And now I almost feel like this is really the official start of 2024. When we get to 111, 2024, that's the real start when we get into the new moon time, because then we can manifest things that we want. Yeah, Rita said moon in Capricorn. Kelly said north node in Capricorn. Yeah. Wendy said Capricorn 5th house with Venus, Jupiter. Yeah. So exactly. So if you have anything in Capricorn, if you have Taurus, or even if you have Virgo, you might be feeling this too, because you're all the earth signs, right? Now, who's challenged by this? Cancers. Sorry, Cancers. I don't know if there's any Cancers on the broadcast tonight, but Cancers are challenged by this because this might almost feel like your full moon, okay? Because it's opposite, it's opposing you, okay? Because Cancer and Capricorn are opposite. If you think about Cancer's job in the zodiac is home and family, and Capricorn's job is work, those two are kind of at odds. It seems like we're always trying to find work, home, life balance. And so that's something that is going on. Now, if you are also an Aries or a Libra, you might feel this too, because this could be kind of really like activating your boss energy, okay? Because Capricorn is the boss, okay? The CEO of the zodiac, that's the nickname of Capricorn. So, and it doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a company, CEO of your family, CEO of the PTA, CEO of the soccer club, it doesn't matter. CEO of the book club, Book of the Month Club, it doesn't matter. Whatever Capricorn does, Capricorn likes to climb to the top. So if you think about the goat, the archetype of the goat, the sign of the goat, it's about rising to the top, right? Those mountain goats, they climb all the way to the top of the mountain, and that's what Capricorn's job is to do. So if you think about that, that is something that, you know, that's the Capricorn way. Capricorn is one of the workaholics of the zodiac, I will just say. So it is all about the work. So let's use that, harness that natural energy, even if you're not a Capricorn. Harness this natural time of work, of climbing to the top, of meeting our goals, of having our checklist of things that we would like. And then this is the time to write your new moon manifestation list, which could be a very powerful lunar cycle to write this manifestation list, you know. So I always start out with thank you for helping me, angels, spirit guides, and guardians, for whatever it was that I had asked for previously. And then I do write it as if they're giving it to me. So I always say, thank you for good health. Thank you for financial abundance. Thank you for loving relationships. Thank you for, whatever thing it is, peaceful home, or I don't know, whatever you would like, you can put it on there. It doesn't have to be material things. It can be a spiritual thing or emotional thing or whatever it is. And then you fold it up, put it under your pillow, sleep with it for 2 weeks, and then burn or destroy the list. And the next upcoming full moon is going to be on January 25th, okay? And that's going to be in Leo. The sun by that point will be in Aquarius, will be in Aquarius season by that point, January 25th. So the first full moon will be in 2024, will be in Leo. So the peak or the height event, a couple people asked, they missed it, is coming January 11th, 111, okay, at 6:57 a.m. Eastern time, 3:57 a.m. if you're on the West Coast. That's the peak of it. So I always tell people, write it right after the peak of it, or some point that day. It doesn't matter. It can be within 12 hours or whatever, but try not to write it before. A lot of people want to get the jump of it on it. You want to really write it after, because technically if you write it before the new moon, you're really still technically in the full moon time. You want to write it after the peak. So anytime that day, Thursday after the 6:57, you can write that list. Okay. Now I always say, if perfect is going to stop you from writing the list, and the only time you have is to write it Wednesday night, write it. I would say write it versus trying to be perfect. Sometimes we just need to get, a B plus instead of an A, and it's still passing. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. We don't want to be stressed out by spiritual practices. These are just supposed to be fun things that we're utilizing. Think about it in a way of, like, let's say it's a salmon and you're swimming downstream instead of upstream. That's kind of the way to sort of approach this, is that you want to flow with the energy of what's going on versus trying to fight against it. I've seen people do all kinds of things trying to go against that tide, and you can, it's free will, free choice, but it's sort of like trying to plant tomato plants in the middle of February outside, you can't do that unless if you have a greenhouse and grow lights and fertilizer and hydroponics and whatever it is. It's going to take, in other words, a great amount of effort to grow those tomato plants in February, versus if you were just to wait until the natural timing, which would be, plant, I don't know, in May or June or something, then it's easier, right? And that's what we want, easy. We want these things to be easy. So that's why I'm saying do it after the peak of it. Now, the cool thing is, behind the scenes during this new moon, yes, we are going to have that sun square the north node the day before, but on the day of the new moon, we have Venus forming a trine positive with Chiron. Okay, so Venus is in Sagittarius, Chiron is in Aries. And that's at 9:35 a.m. Eastern time on that same day as the new moon. So that's a healing energy. So remember when I started the broadcast with talking about how over last weekend, there was a square between Venus and Lilith, okay, and there might have been hurt feelings and jealousy and weirdness and kind of some sticky, mucky stuff in our relationships. Now we can heal this thing on Thursday. So that's a beautiful thing, because when we think about Chiron, Chiron is healing those wounds, healing something from the past. Something might bubble up within, like, a trigger from some kind of a thing, and, whatever, but it's being brought out to be healed and to be nurtured and cared for. Now it's in the fire signs, Aries and Sagittarius. So if you are one of those signs, you'll be getting involved with this new moon, you see. And so that can be very good and very positive, in order to sort of give us, some healing and some put a little pep in our step, I think. I've noticed a lot of people that I've been talking to, and again, this is just my, sort of impromptu, like behind the scenes, when I'm talking to clients, a lot of people, again, starting this new year with some of this wonky energy, they've been missing a little pep in their step. They've been feeling like, holidays are over. It's kind of gray out, like, and like they're kind of, so maybe this can help us to get a little pep in our step during this new moon. Now, this new moon, and I like to talk about the archangels. And so the archangel that is associated with Capricorn is Azrael. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's Azrael. And so that is the archangel associated with this particular new moon. And Azrael's job, and again, this is there's a they-them situation. The archangels are not supposedly said to have a sex associated with them, male or female, it's they-them. Azrael is to whom, let's see here, to whom God helps. Okay, that's the nickname of this particular archangel. And so if you need help with, Archangel Azrael is said to help people cross over to the other side. So any kind of souls that have passed over, that are crossing over. And I know a lot of people that have had, like, it's kind of hard during the holidays sometimes, right? Like when we have, animals or people that were missing that crossed over to the other side. Or if you have a current loved one in your life that's sick or possibly about to pass away or something like that, this is the archangel that helps the souls to cross over and have a smooth transition with crossing over. That is what one of the jobs is of this particular archangel. Safe passage to the afterlife. And so the other thing that this archangel helps us with is grief. Okay, grief and grieving is also said to be helped with this particular archangel. So if you are grieving somebody, a pet or a loved one, whatever, this archangel can help with that too. And I know sometimes people, like I said, are struggling from a holiday, or, sometimes we feel that loss at the dinner table, and it's like, I just wish. By the way, loved ones are always with us in spirit. They're always with us. They're at that dinner table with us. They're always talking to me about, being there or seeing something, that happened. They'll say, oh, this happened at Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever. Hey, Dee Dee, welcome. So this card from Doreen Virtue's Archangel deck is Archangel Azrael's card, the card of comfort. Okay, I am with you in your time of need, helping to heal your heart. Okay, that's this card here of comfort. Now, the other thing is, so not only does Archangel Azrael help with transitioning, a soul transitioning to the other side or to the afterlife, but it helps with he or she, they, them, help with life's transitions. So let's say you're dealing with something, you're going to a new job, or you're going into a new phase of life, or you're moving to a new home or something like that. If you're having a life transition, Archangel Azrael can help with that, life's transitions, and also can help with lifting feelings of guilt, regret, anger, those types of feelings. Archangel Azrael is said to help that, help us to find help us to find peace, transcend, and grow. So if you think about this particular new moon being ruled by Saturn, Saturn is our life lessons. And if you think about, having something to do with regret, or having something to do with holding on to anger and needing to forgive, that's why the card of the counselor is also Archangel Azrael. You are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. Or maybe you need counseling. Maybe you need to see somebody. It doesn't have to be a therapist. Could be a spiritual counselor, could be your best friend that's an armchair counselor, or your dog or your houseplant. But whatever, maybe you need to sort of lift something. If you have a heavy chest or a heavy burden that's on you, you might need to be lifted. And that is something that Archangel Azrael can do as well. Now, I have this beautiful prayer, and I was going to say it out loud so that anybody on the broadcast listening can benefit from this prayer. And you can also rewind it and play it back if you'd like after the broadcast is already posted. Archangel Azrael, please comfort me now. Please help me to heal. Please lift my heart above heaviness and help me to realize the blessings that this situation holds. Please help me to realize my tears and connect to my beloved in heaven. I ask that you infuse this connection with energy so that I may clearly communicate with, I know that my loved one is nearby and that you are watching over both of us. Thank you, Archangel Azrael. Amen. And so that is something that I felt was really cool prayer to sort of connect and communicate with that archangel. And that is Capricorn's archangel. That's the archangel associated with Capricorn, though I believe we can all access all of the archangels, and it's totally, but there are archangels that are associated with each astrological sign, and I like to cover that. Now, if you're thinking about different types of stones and things, I do like a grounding stone for Capricorn. Capricorn, again, tends to be a little bit more of a heavier sign, meaning because you're ruled by Saturn, and so heavy-hearted sometimes can be a Capricorn thing. So I like any of the dark colored stones, so onyx, jet, obsidian, any of those, because they really help with grounding. If you think of the CEO of a company, probably needs a lot of help with stress relief and grounding and, all of that good stuff. So I like all of the darker colored stones for Capricorn. And also I do like a light blue. I don't have any next to me, but I like a light blue for Capricorn too, because again, Capricorn has like a heaviness to them. Sometimes you can meet a Capricorn child and they're like, 3 years old, and you're like, are you 15? Capricorns are said to kind of age like fine wine. They tend to, be sort of older and more mature when they're in early life. It's almost like Benjamin Button, I guess. And then later in life, they get sort of younger and younger. That's a Capricorn thing. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of heaviness to that. So we want to be able to lift that and make it. So I like a light blue, like a blue lace agate or celestite, or one of those light blue sort of stones, because I think it's a little bit more happy, and that sometimes Capricorns need a little bit more of that. So that's going to be this particular new moon in Capricorn. Capricorn season new moon, and again, that's 1/11/2024, and that is going to be the first new moon. And then right after that, on Friday, TGIF Friday, January 12th, Mars is going to form a trine with Jupiter. Now, I just talked about how Mars was forming a sextile with Saturn, and that's going to be on Tuesday. Now Mars is very active here. Going to be, I think, active over this next month. And so now Mars is forming a trine with Jupiter. Now Jupiter, again, is our good luck, good fortune, optimism, expansion, where Saturn was more serious, our goals and our plans, and that's Tuesday. That was the serious side of it. Then we get into Friday and we get into some good luck, windfalls, having some kind of thing plop in our lap. Now, where is Jupiter in your chart. Jupiter is in Taurus. Where's Jupiter in your chart in order to know what's this positive energy? This is a very positive thing. Now, yes, we have to remember that Mars is the god of war. And if you are coming into the 12th for some reason angry, Jupiter could make that bigger. It is a possibility, but it's a trine and these are positive. So Mars is in Capricorn. So again, here we have the earth signs, and Jupiter is in Taurus. No, you said Jupiter in Capricorn. Oh, is that in your natal chart, Wendy? Yeah, Jupiter is in Taurus right now. Hey, Holly, welcome. Libra in Vermont. Happy New Year. Oh, Holly, see, that's good. Jupiter is in your second house. That's money, honey. So when we have, and I'm talking about the transiting planets, not the planets that live natally in your, I'm talking about the planets. So where is Taurus in your chart? And that's where Jupiter is right now. So with Mars and Jupiter aligning, this could be very, very positive. This is definitely good for risk taking. And we had a little bit of that earlier on with Uranus's activation again on Tuesday with the sun activating Uranus. So this could have something risky could pay off on Friday. But cha-ching, that could be a very big, there might be some like announcements, so-and-so won $1 billion lottery, all that kind of stuff. That could be definitely happening, okay, a Friday over the weekend where there's a big announcement like that. Somebody won Mega Millions or whatever. That is definitely in the realm of possibility here with this Jupiter thing. So this is definitely good to know, and it's good time to take risks, to go big or go home. That is definitely the thing. Now, the peak or the height of it is going to be on Friday morning at 5:42 a.m. Eastern time. That's the peak of it on this Friday. So again, thinking about it overnight between Thursday and Friday, that's going to be active. And that's behind the scenes of this new moon. So, this has some very positive energies kind of sandwiched up to it. The only one is that challenge with the sun and the north node, but we can't have anything. It's not perfect, but there's some good positive energies behind this new moon. So this new moon actually could be quite good, I think. The only thing that is the cautionary tale is on Thursday night, is that new moon is going to form a conjunction with Pluto because it's in Capricorn, at the very end of Capricorn. Now, the big announcement this month, and I'm going to be going over that in next week's broadcast, is Pluto is going to be moving into Aquarius. So that is a big thing coming. And that's going to be on the 20th. It's going to be returning to Aquarius. Finally, and leaving Capricorn. But before it goes, the new moon is going to highlight. But again, that can be transformation. You think about Pluto is transformative. And we might need some transformation around something that we're looking for, Okay, Holly said, Taurus is in your 8th house. Well, that is, a very good house as far as it is sex, death, and other people's money. Okay, so finances, that's a financial house. So that is a good area, Holly, for you to have, some activation there with your Jupiter. Hey, Darlene, welcome. Okay, so we are going to be having Mercury return to Capricorn. So speaking about throwbacks, okay, and looking at things in the past, Mercury is going to be returning to Capricorn, and that's coming on Saturday the 13th, and that is going to be at 9:49 p.m. Eastern time, okay? And so that is something that I'm not sure, Kelly, what you're talking about with the trine there with Virgo. Let's see. I'm sorry. Kelly posted Pluto 29 degrees Virgo trine Pluto in Capricorn. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. So anyway, so Mercury is going to be moving into Capricorn at 9:49 p.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that, if you're out on the West Coast, 6:49 p.m. and that's on Saturday the 13th. And so now we are having a return. Now remember, Mercury was in Capricorn when it was retrograde, okay? When it very, very first retrograde. Oh, okay, Kelly, you said that was your natal chart. Gotcha. I got confused. Oh, Holly, thank you. Holly, 100 stars. Thank you so much, Holly. I always ring the bell when someone does the stars. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so when we're going to be returning, okay, we're returning to last month. What we are going to be reviewing, just so that you know, and if you didn't hear last week's broadcast, Mercury's shadow period is going to be lasting up until the 21st, okay, of this month. It'll still be in the shadow, okay? And so we're going to be reviewing this time that we had last month between December 1st and December 24th of last month. Mercury already was there, okay, during that time. So remember what happened between December 1st and December 24th, and now we're going to be doing this again, okay? And so Mercury will be reviewing what's going on in Capricorn, and we're going to have a little review of that period of time. We're going to be reapproaching something that happened during that. And so, yeah, so it is definitely direct, and it's moving on, and we're going to be going through the Capricorn cycle, and the sun is going to be is still in Capricorn now. Mercury's in Capricorn, Mars is in Capricorn, so we got a bunch of planets going through there. And at the very, 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 very super end, okay, we have Pluto in Capricorn. So we have some activity here in Capricorn. So wherever Capricorn is in your chart is getting really highlighted right now. And so it's good to know that wherever, it is. So with Mercury in Capricorn, we're going to be reapproaching this whole thing. And Mercury is going to be in Capricorn all the way from January 13th at, again, 9:49 p.m. all the way until February 5th of 2024. So for like roughly, 3-4 weeks, it's going to be in Capricorn. And we're reviewing some of that stuff that we already kind of touched upon in December. And so now we're bringing it back out. And that's what I like to talk about that, because that's what these planets do when they go retrograde. So we're like kind of learning that and relearning it and learning it again and relearning, so that we can really get and practice at that, because that's how we learn. We learn through repetition. It's just a thing. So that's basically what's happening. So yeah, we're going to be reapproaching something. And remember, we're communicating like a Capricorn, which is bullet points. It's not a flowery, okay. We just came out of Mercury in Sagittarius, which is a little bit more like kind of blunt and a little bit more adventurous and sort of kind of careless. I think sometimes Mercury in Capricorn be a little careless, because I always have this saying, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask a Sagittarius, because they will just tell you that right to the heart of it. Capricorn's more like a business, did you make an appointment? Like, are we scheduled to talk today? Like, I don't have time for this, So if you think about the CEO is very busy. We don't have time for all this like details. And so that's the communication style that we are in with Mercury and Capricorn. And like I said, we already did that between December 1st and December 24th. And now we're revisiting that time again so that we can practice and really get the feel. Only this time we're going to finish out the full cycle before we move into Mercury and Aquarius. We have to finish that out. So we're back to business. We're in Capricorn season. We are back to business. And this is the time when people get their, accountant, and they start thinking about taxes and, doing a lot of things. So Kelly said during that time in December, she was spending a lot of money. I think probably a lot of us were, because that was the pre-holiday season, Oh, good. Dee Dee, you're finally seeing your boyfriend on the new moon. That's nice. Congratulations. Okay, so, and then we have one more deal going on, which is a minor thing on Sunday, the 14th. We do have Venus forming a quincunx with Uranus. That is something that's a little out there, different. These two are not on the same page. That's what a quincunx is. That's coming on Sunday the 14th at 8:03 a.m. So we might feel that a little on Saturday and Sunday. This is considered to be a minor thing, but this is something that potentially could throw a little bit of a quirky monkey wrench in the love thing. It's not a major thing, so it's just a small little bump in the road. It's not anything major, but it is something that could be like a little annoying, almost like, oh, I thought you said you made reservations here and I ended up over here, and or we're not on the same page, or I thought you said you were available to talk and they're not available, like something like that. And that's coming in the morning on Sunday the 14th. But otherwise, it looks like actually a quiet weekend. Next weekend looks a little bit quiet, but this week looks very, very busy to me. There's been a lot in the news and just different things going on, but there is a busyness here that this is. And I think this is really the good time to go forward and really actually treat this as almost like this is the new year, really, and this is the time to make the resolutions and the intentions and all the things versus when it was January 1st. That was kind of weird. And yeah, at some point I'm going to make an announcement. I haven't quite looked at my schedule yet, but I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to do a special broadcast just for numerology, because I really feel that it deserves its own individual broadcast. So I'll probably make an announcement beforehand so you guys can jump on. I want to talk about the numerology of the year. And then also we'll get into the Chinese New Year, which this year is the year of the dragon we're going to be getting into. So we're finishing out the rabbit and we're getting into the dragon. So the very different energies. These are very different. So if anybody has any questions, anything that they want to know, and I'm going to pull a general card at the end just for what we need to know about the new moon and what we need to know for this week. But if anybody has a general question they would like to post, go ahead and post it, or a question, and then I'm going to do a general card for the new moon, because we have to let the moon guide us. Let that moon guide you. Yeah. And if you have a Capricorn moon, this is your new moon. So you'll be feeling that. You will be feeling that. Yay. All right. Let's see. I haven't had anybody post anything yet. Oh, Kelly, Mars in your 6th house, Capricorn, you're getting a root canal. Why not? Why not? I would say go for it. That is, the 6th house is the area of health, and that's when things come up, is when things are in the 6th house. Liz Green, a famous astrologer, wrote about how the 6th house, the nickname of the 6th house is the house of health. So anybody's 6th house, I'm talking. So if anybody knows their astrological chart or has a copy of it, the 6th house is your area of health. So Liz Green wrote about how the 6th house, even though we call it health, it's actually the area of illness. Because if you think about things going wrong in that department, that's when things go wrong with our health, right? So there's a lot of activity in the 6th house right now for you individually, Kelly, because that's where your Capricorn is. So it's Capricorn season, and that's all. So, you're getting it's a new moon root canal. If you need one, you need one. You got to do that. Holly, will you be able to retire this year? Let me look at that. This is interesting, Holly. It is saying that if you were to do that, it would be towards more the end of the year than the beginning. The beginning of the year, definitely not, it's saying. But there's some big change that comes. And then there might be another stream of income or some other way that, you know, you get money, because this is the card of money. And you see she's juggling multiple things here. So this could be an inheritance. This could be an investment property. This could be stocks and bonds. This could be another way of getting some financial help. And it's saying when you get that, then you will be able to retire like more with peace of mind. Like, I feel like you could actually retire soon, but it would be very more like tight, and you wouldn't have peace of mind. This is saying if you want to retire with peace of mind, that there's this other additional stream of income. So I hope that helps. It does say you can retire if you want to. It's just going to be hard if you tried to do it before you get this additional thing. I hope that helps. Okay. Let's see here. Anybody else? I'm not sure, Dee Dee. I don't understand that question. You said you've been sick during Christmas. Is your boyfriend praying over you? I don't understand that question. Holly, I hope that helps. Yeah, I'm going to just pull a quick card for you, Dee Dee, because I am going to wrap up the broadcast. Just a general card. I'm not sure I understand that question, but I'm going to pull a general card. What does Dee Dee need to know? Okay, Dee Dee said this card is saying clear your space. Clear your space and also yourself of any like kind of negative energies. Archangel Jophiel, get rid of the clutter, clear the energy around you, use the power of feng shui. By the way, Dee Dee, if he's coming to your house, you might want to clean up your house or apartment or whatever. It's saying just to clear your space, but also energetically cleanse your space. Maybe do a little bit of a smudging or some kind of thing. Smudge yourself, smudge the space, use white sage or some other like Palo Santo or something. But you can do some energy clearing in your space, because you might be holding on to some stuff. And especially if you have like some germs left over, you want to open those windows and just kind of clear things out. That's what the angels are saying. So I hope that helps. All right. Oh, Jackie, thank you. Another 100 stars. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jackie. Let's see. Weekend, you're spending with family, another state. Well, I wouldn't want to do that on the live broadcast. If you know, you might not want to post that, but if you would like, I can pull you a card, Jackie, really quickly about spending family, and then I'm going to wrap up the broadcast and we'll do one quick card for what we need to know. But Jackie, I'm going to do a card for you. Let's see, what does Jackie need to know? Something's going on, Jackie. It's honor the divine order. If you look at that, it looks a little bit like Libra, huh? You know, balance and fairness, justice and beauty. Archangel Raguel, everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see the underlying order. So there might be something there. Things need to be balanced. Accounts need to be settled. Things need to be, and with this card, in my experience, because I've used these decks for many years, in my experience with this one, it's almost like trust the divine plan. Something might not seem like a blessing right now, Jackie, but it is a blessing. But you have to kind of know that the universe has your back and has something up its sleeve and is planning on something. So I hope that... and it's also saying to kind of use that compassion, that balance, that fairness, you know, judging yourself, judging others, you know, during that time. So we want to, yeah, because there's change in the air. Somebody else just got this too, this card, this change card. The wheel is always change. What's up must go down. What's down must go up. Okay. That's the wheel. Okay. And so, you know, if you hate how things are, I have good news because it's changing. If you love how things are, I might have bad news because that's changing too. But we're always on some wheel, we're always on somewhere on the wheel of life. All of us are on the wheel of life. And so nothing ever stays the same, and that there is some change in the air. It is interesting too, because this does have, it's called the Wheel of Fortune, and this does have some money associated with it. It's funny because I heard accounts need to be settled. So there's money. I said accounts, and this is, this is money and this one's money. So, that could be something there too, Jackie. Money. Oh, money and family. That mixes well. Mostly never. Okay, everybody. Well, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you spending time with me. I hope you guys had great holidays. I didn't get to talk to you live during that time because I did take a little time off. But I'm going to pull a card. What do we need to know? If you guys want to have a personalized astrological session, okay, feel free to, send me a text message or whatever. I am doing sessions, and that could help you during the new year, what you need to know about this year, big plans, all kinds of things. You'd be surprised all the things that I cover in sessions: health, home and family, children, animals, deceased loved ones. I mean, I go into a lot of things. Love is the biggest thing. I think the biggest thing most people ask me is about love and relationships, romantic relationships, and also business. I do a lot of talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and business people. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting, we'll say an interesting year. But what do we need to know about this new moon and all of its surrounding energies? What do we need to know in order to have a good, positive new moon? Ooh, these two are stuck together. Wow, they're really stuck together. Interesting. Okay. Funny enough, I'm using my Moonology cards. These are both new moon cards. This one's new moon in Scorpio, and this one's new moon in Sagittarius. And yes, I know it's new moon in Capricorn, but these are the deck of cards I'm using. So the Scorpio new moon card, and they were really stuck together. They really wanted to come out together. So I have to do that, honor that when I'm pulling cards. Work with your fears, or work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. Okay, Scorpio can sometimes be a little bit fixed in its energy, a little defensive, a little guarded, have some trust issues. Okay, Scorpio is going to sting you or get you with the claws, so we got to be a little bit more trusting and work with our fears and work through our fears, because luck is on our side. That's Sagittarius, right? And Jupiter, right? Luck is on our side with the new moon in Sagittarius. So remember what I said, there's, especially as we get into Friday, around that, heading into Friday, and that's going to be active all week, by the way. That Mars trine Jupiter thing is going to be active all week. Luck, that's luck, Jupiter's good luck, good fortune, optimism, expansion. So, but we can't let fear hold us back. That's what those cards are saying. So I hope that helps everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lori and Melinda, Holly, Kelly, Amir, everybody, Jackie, Dee Dee, everybody saying thank you. If you'd like to have a personalized astrological session, please feel free to send me a text message or a DM. And I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a happy new moon for the new year. And I will see you next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time on my Facebook page or on the replay on YouTube. And make sure you like my YouTube channel. All right, everybody. Take care. Namaste. Bye.